One parent is talking to us after a first grade teacher was indicted on charges related to child sexual abuse. Good evening. I'm Kim Chapman-Whitfield.
And I'm Josh Rowe. We poured over the personnel file of Duane Sanders, a suspended teacher at Wallace A. Elementary. But as we learned today, he has worked or volunteered at a total of 5 schools in Hamilton County throughout his teaching career. NewsChannel 9's Jacqueline Davis has more from a parent who says his children were Sanders students.
Wallace A. Smith is the elementary school that Duane Sanders was working at before he got arrested. However, according to his personnel file at Hamilton County Schools, this is not the first school that he was working or volunteering at. Now, Sanders was at 4 other schools before coming here to Wallace, and he didn't get his teaching certification until 2017. He taught at Eastside Elementary, was an assistant at East Brainerd Elementary and Westview Elementary, and volunteered at Wolftever Elementary back in 2008.
He was like perfectly placed as this unassuming teacher that just casually cared about your kids.
Jeff Johnson, a single parent of 4 boys with 2 learning in Sanders' classes over the last couple of years. He says he doesn't know if his kids were alleged victims.
Every child that's been in one of his classes should be treated as a potential victim. I mean, he was just always around and supportive of the kids in a way that didn't draw too much attention to himself. So polite, mild-mannered, intelligent, but not a genius. Like, he was just very, very normal.
Johnson says in this situation, he wants protection for his family and children.
My children were around him every single day. So, this is a nightmare for me.
One main concern for Johnson is the lack of information from the school system.
It means a lot more than a boilerplate email saying we can't give you any more information.
I reached out to Hamilton County School Board and asked how their hotline system works. I was told, quote, those follow-up conversations are initiated as soon as possible and noted. While it is possible a follow-up might have been missed, our intention is to make contact with everyone who has reached out for assistance and to provide the best of our ability the information they need. Johnson wants to help all the children in his son's class and their parents.
We just say, I'm here for you to tell me if something happened to you. They're not going to tell me. I will keep trying.
Parents are kind of frustrated with this whole situation, but first grade teacher Duane Sanders says that he has been suspended now with no pay while investigators for police and the DA are trying to figure out his possible sex crimes with young students here at Wallace A. Smith Elementary. Parents we spoke to this afternoon couldn't believe an employee here is facing these kinds of charges. 2 weeks ago, school officials were told by the Department of Children's Services they opened an investigation. According to Hamilton County School spokesman Steve Doremus, the DA met with school leaders laying out what they knew. Investigators say there could be more victims in this case. The district said in a statement, quote, these allegations are devastating. We are heartbroken at the thought of any school system employee who would harm a child. Now, Sanders' bond has been set at $1.3 million, and he is being booked into Hamilton County Jail System later this afternoon.
A heartbreaking revelation for parents at Wallace A. Smith Elementary after first grade teacher Duane Sanders was indicted on charges of child sexual abuse. Now we're working to learn how parents and teachers can help their children heal.
It's hard to hear, it's hard to think about.
A difficult conversation to navigate.
We really need to focus on these kids, on these parents, these families, and these teachers.
The indictment of first grade teacher Duane Sanders for child sexual abuse sent shockwaves through the school district and brings to light an issue child therapist Elliot Pinsley says requires time and patience.
It's going to be a challenge for the teachers to be the primary flag bearers for making sure these children feel safe.
Pinsley says communication between parents and teachers is critical to help victims heal, since distrust can linger after cases of abuse by a teacher.
Our responsibility to create safe spaces for kids to say, I feel uncomfortable.
Kristen Pavlik-McCauley with the Children's Advocacy Center in Hamilton County says resources for children suffering from abuse are needed more than ever.
Our organization provides services to kiddos who are alleged victims of abuse of all kinds.
She says the county saw 887 cases of child abuse last year, a crisis they hope to address with resources like free therapy sessions for student victims.
Validate them, call them brave, tell them they're doing something really significant because they are.
But while available through CACH, statewide, these resources are scarce. The Association of American Medical Colleges says Tennessee only has one mental health professional per 740 residents.
That's frightening. That's really frightening.
A crisis Pinsley says, if addressed properly, can provide safe havens for our most vulnerable children.
If we get the right supports and mental health resources in place, we can help people heal and move forward in a positive way.